What's up, everybody? Arrg the Pirate here, and today we're gonna play a little Gideon in the mid lane. As always, let's go over the deck. Now I have Healing Towers, Onslaught, Experienced, Mana Fountain, Spell Shield, and lastly Overpowered spells for my gems. Now for my cards, I have Advanced Evolution, Font of Experienced, Invader Mage, Power Tap, Finder of Playthings, Atomic Soldier, Shadow Dancer, and lastly Grinning Spectre. Now, it has been a little bit since I've played Gideon and, made a Gideon video, and I had a lot of people asking me to play him after that gadget video, so, of course, we gotta play a little Gideon. Now, our Chimera's kind of sitting around waiting for a gank, and, it's just not gonna happen. So, I go ahead and go in on Iggy a little bit, and I wanted him to throw a turret down. Now, one thing about Iggy is, it's impossible for him not to push lanes, and this is great, guys. It does make it a little bit harder to push your lane, but we don't want to push our lane. We want to keep it way in the back so it starves him from XP, it starves him from gold. His turns don't last hit things near as well as he would. They just constantly shoot. So we want that wave to push, and if we can get him to throw a turret down, our wave is naturally going to push. And you can see, that turret does, it does a little bit of damage, so it's naturally going to push against us, and that's exactly what we wanted. We're going to go ahead and get this tower, or get this minion wave under Arrg tower, and just sit here and slow farm. And Iggy can't push up, guys. If he does, I'm going to hit him with a rock, and, that's going to do 90% of his health, because they nerfed Iggy, and, his turrets don't have as much health. He doesn't have as much health. I honestly think Iggy's kind of in a bad spot right now. He is still a beast if you go try to engage on him when his towers, or when his turrets are all up. But really, if you can just avoid that, just don't go engage when he's set up. If you avoid that, he's very easy to deal with. So, that's exactly what we're going to do. Now, he is throwing turrets up again, which, again, that's going to push this lane, which is exactly what we want. That turret's not going to go for last hits. It might get one or two, but it's not going to get them all, and he's going to be very starved of not only level, but, gold as well. Which, just like I was saying, guys, this is the best way to deal with Iggy. Try to force him to throw a turret down, and then back up under your tower and just sit there and farm. It is kind of boring, it's definitely not the funnest thing to do, but, 3, 4, 5 minutes of this, and Iggy will be severely underfed. You'll be able to just rock him to death, and that's exactly what we're going to do coming up. Now, I decided to go with Onslaught on Gideon. I've always played Gideon as that big team engager, especially with that ultimate, and his new ultimate is, you can use it for solo, but he does so well in a team, and I'm hoping Onslaught will reduce that, as well as, since he is such a first caster, his abilities have a fairly long cooldown compared to some of the other heroes, so thinking Onslaught might help out with that a little bit. Yeah, I don't use Onslaught on my casters very much, so I don't really know. I use it on Aurora, of course, but on, my main line casters, I don't really use it. So we'll have to see what happens, and, hopefully it can actually get that ult off quickly. And you see, we're hitting that Iggy for a ton of damage, guys, and he is set up. He's got 3 turrets up, and you can see I'm not worried about it at all. I am definitely doing more work on these on the minion wave than I normally would, just because he's got so many turrets up. But I'm not even taking the turrets down because I want this lane to stay close to my tower. Iggy is very tough to deal with, when, he can catch you out, things like that, and it's best just to leave him alone. Again, you want to keep that minion wave close to you. Now, one thing, if you didn't know, guys, Iggy's turrets, they kind of aim at the ground when he's not close to them. And so you can kind of tell where Iggy is if he has turrets set up. If he throws some down mid lane, then rotates. If his turrets quit firing, that means he's got out of range. And you can kind of use that as a sign of, where Iggy is. You'll be able to tell, like, hey, he's actually rotating, not going for river buffs, things like that. We miss our rock there, but hey, no, it's not a big deal. We're doing okay with mana. We haven't gone for river buffs just because, you know, we've kind of been dealing with this. You know, I don't like going for river buffs with Iggy up, just because, you know, he can definitely kind of block off an area with those turrets if, you know, he's on the ball. So I want to be aware of that, but I feel, you know, hey, it's a pretty good time to go for those rivers. We're able to hit him with a rock while we rotate over to pick up this other red buff. And, you know, hey, we're starting off decently, guys. It's all about getting that farm. Sure, we haven't been able to rotate near as much, but that's quite all right. Now, I was kind of looking for a gank, and you can see that turret was still active, guys. So I know Iggy's close. I just didn't have vision on him in the map, so I'm going to leave that. Might have been able to get behind him and do some work, but I'm not worried about that. I'm going to let him stay under tower and, you know, heal up, things like that. I really want to get this wave kind of pushing in the right direction, so maybe I can start rotating and, you know, really actually helping my team. Now I'm actually going to rotate over to our duo lane, you know, but the enemy team started backing off, so, you know what, I'm going to get out of there. I got enough points to put on Invader, Mage, and that advanced evolution, so, you know, I've got some decent damage now, and I've got some sustain. You know, I am level, you know, 6, isn't 7, so, you know, advanced evolution is kind of going away. It's not going to be near as useful as it would have been, but that's alright. You can see that damage with that rock. I'm starting to hurt, guys, and, you know, I should be able to out-damage Iggy at this point, and we're able to force him out of lane a little bit. You know, that definitely was just pushy kind of attack. But, you know, I just wanted to get that poke, turn around, and come back. And since he is running healing towers, you know, he is healing that damage up. But hopefully we can just keep this damage up and force him out of lane. Maybe even get this tower, or get this minion wave under tower. And, again, that will allow us to rotate. Now, my duo lane is being pushed right now, and so is my solo lane. So if I can get the pressure up in mid, that's really going to allow me to rotate and help out elsewhere. And, you know, that's really what I want to try to do. I'm going to try to take these turrets out, but I need to get out pretty quick. Now, I'm a big guy, you know, I've said it 1,000 times, stay out of the, you know, don't pass that river. And the reason I was passing that river right there is because all of our lanes were pushing towers. So, I'm keeping the pressure up, as well as my whole team is keeping the pressure up. So the jungler's going to rotate somewhere, and we're giving him 3 options to rotate to. So he's not going, you know, we're going to get damage on us on at least 1 tower, if not 2. So it was just more of it was the right time to go into tower. But again, guys, you don't want to stay up there very long, because you will die doing that. Now the first, you know, 10 minutes of this match are pretty boring, and we've actually got some pretty big presence in our duo lane. So I'm going to get this lane pushing in the right direction, and I'm actually going to head over there. Unfortunately, I did use my ultimate there. You know, I'm still not used to the Gideon ult not doing any damage, because, you know, I don't play him very often. But hopefully we'll be able to, you know, at least save this tower, and, you know, hey, we might even be able to get a kill, who knows. But sure enough, we're able to save that tower. My Revenant did show back up, so I'm actually going to head back and throw on Atomic Soldier. You know, I am going to keep Advanced Evolution for a little bit longer, but, you know, typically I've been putting on Atomic Soldier whenever I can pick it up. But really, in this build, guys, I'm going to try to pick up Grinning Spectre. I never use the card. I don't even know if I'm a fan of the card, because as little that I use it. You know, I really think having those 8-point, that 7-point, and another 8-point card, I really like that combination of cards. But when you go with Grinning Spectre, you know, you're stuck with that 13, so it really limits what type of in-game you can have. And that's one reason I don't use it. You know, it does give quite a bit of power, and you know, the active ability on it, I use it a few times in this match, and you'll see, but I don't know, I think being able to go Invis, or Nameless Curse, or something like that, I think those are better options when it comes to cards. And I did get asked to, you know, kind of talk about this card a while back. I've just, you know, kind of been busy, but we're finally taking a look at it, and you know, I think it is a solid card, but I just like the utility of the other cards over Grinning Spectre. Now, we did just hear Muriel ult, and I'm kind of looking over there, but, you know, those guys were a little bit out of position. I was not paying attention to the map. You know, Iggy's kind of got a couple of turrets set up, so, you know, we need to be careful of him. I missed 2 abilities on Arrg. God, how bad am I, guys? But, you know, hey, we pushed her back. You know, she did come and attack me in my minion wave, and you saw how much damage she took. That was 100% from minions. So, you know, it is what it is. Now, Muriel does head to mid, which, you know, hey, we got our mid lane here. You know, it's no big deal. She's taking out that turret, which I'm not really concerned with the turrets. I was just gonna kind of leave them, let them blow up themselves. You know, Iggy's backing way off, so his turrets are, you know, it's a good idea to go for him at this time. But they're so far up, I was not concerned. I wasn't going to take him out. But since she was, you know, hey, we at least need to help her out. And then we do see there is an engagement in this jungle over here. So I'm going to head over and see if I can actually help out. Sure enough, we're able to take out that Kalari. And then Faye is here, so we're going to try to take out Faye. Unfortunately, Muriel does get taken out. But, hey, we get a sweet little couple of kills there. And, you know, we're 1-0-1, so we're not doing too bad. And I'm going to head back to my mid lane. You know, my mid lane is definitely being pushed by Iggy. And Iggy actually goes under turret. Now, he hit me, you know, his turret's hitting me. So I'm taking that burn. My tower's going to focus him, and then I'm actually able to take him out. You know, I take a ton of damage there. But, you know, since I was able to stun him under tower, we're able to take him out, no problem. You know, I've got the assistance of my tower to hit him, you know, that burning sensation, and then, you know, one easy rock, boom, he's gone. We're going to head back to base and throw on another card. Now, of course, I'm going to pick up Invader Mage. Invader Mage is such a good card, guys. And we're 1 point away from being able to pick up Grinning Spectre, or even, you know, that Mana Fountain, which is what we really want. We're able to get an awesome double rock there, and we end up getting that Faye, and then we're going to head over and hopefully secure this Murdoch, and sure enough, Revenant gets both those kills, which, you know, that's amazing. You know, our ADC getting fed, we need Revenant to get farm. I've done a pretty decent job of farming so far, so, you know, I'm completely okay with him getting that farm, and then I'm actually going to head back to my mid lane to help deal with Iggy. Now, Kawari, Chimera, you know, well, I guess it's just Chimera on our team. Chimera and Greystone, they cannot handle Iggy, guys. You know, Iggy, when he gets set up, those heroes will just get absolutely melted. So, you know, it's kind of my job as a ranged caster, you know, as a burst caster, it's my job to deal with Iggy. You know, Muriel can help, you know, help the situation, but she's not going to be able to save him. So, you know, that's kind of my job. Now, we are kind of getting into this really strange engagement. I wasn't going to ult, but then I see, you know, things are... I don't know where everybody is, so I'm going to go ahead and use that ultimate. And I really use that as defensively. I wanted people to get out. You know, I'm out of mana now, but I kind of use that as a defensive ult. Because, you know, that Queen showed up, you know, that was... We wanted to make sure Chimera got out. Sure enough, we're able to... Now, I'm not exactly sure what Murdoch was thinking, but we're able to take him out. And then we dip out in time to avoid Kalari. Kalari does head under tower, so, you know, she's taking that tower damage. Unfortunately, she is able to dip out, but, you know, hey, no problem. We're out of mana. You know, I mean, there's not a whole lot we can do. We lost a Kalari, or a Chimera in the process, but we took out their ADC, so, you know, we probably didn't win that fight, but I'm not too upset about it. From here, I'm going to go ahead and build into Finder of Playthings. So, you know, I've got a pretty decent build on, but I do want to pick up Grinning Spectre eventually. So, I think my next pack, I'll go ahead and pick that Grinning Spectre up and, you know, actually try that out. You know, Finder of Playthings is such a good card to, you know, counter Kalari, or, you know, really just give you vision. It can give you vision on, you know, the team's missing, let's check Fang, boom, you hit a button and it's checked. You know, it's a solid card, but I I just don't find myself using it all that much, but like I said, it is a very solid card. Now, the entire enemy team is, you know, close to mid, so we need to be careful. You know, we're staying under tower. We don't want to push up. Faye starts heading in, so we're going to get a little poke onto Faye, and, you know, 2 rocks. Oh, man, we hurt. Quang shows up, so, you know, hey, we got to be careful. Muriel ults in, which, you know, she could have waited a little bit, or, you know, picked a better hero to ult in on, but, hey, no problem. And then, you know, I see this huge team collapse, so I'm going to go ahead and ult. Now, I know Iggy's here, and I'm going to die for this, but, you know, we got a great ult there, and, you know, hey, we end up actually getting a couple of kills, and, you know, like I said, I end up going down there, but really, you know, Gideon, he's that team fighter, you know, that's my job. My job is to stun those people so we can get those kills, and we end up actually picking up that Quang, you know, very, very late after that fight, but, you know, being able to stun all those heroes, it'd have been nice if we would have got that Iggy and avoided that ultimate, but, hey, no problem. I feel good about that play, and sure enough, we're actually able to push into this mid lane and actually take this mid lane tower. Now, once I do spawn back in, you know, my team ends up pushing down to that T2, and, you know, they're just playing a little bit of aggressive. Now, Chimera is there, you know, and he's fighting that Faye, but, you know, it's not looking good, so I'm just gonna head in, you know, see if I can make something happen, and just quickly head in. We're able to, you know, at least provide a little bit of a distraction for him, and then Murdoch shows up, and hey, we can take Murdoch, guys. You know, the ADC challenge in the Burstcaster, you know, it's probably not the best decision, but hey, we're able to take him out. You know, we weren't quite the distraction we wanted to be, and Chimera was, you know, he did go down. And Greystone, for whatever reason, is standing in the middle of this fire, you know, taking these minions out. I was trying to help out by getting those turrets down, things like that. Clary shows up and takes us out. You know, that was completely careless on my part. You know, I'm not exactly sure why Greystone was just standing in that fire, you know, taking that damage and, you know, losing that armor, but I tried to help him out, but, hey, you know, it's not always best to help people out. I should have just got out, especially being half health. But, you know, Greystone's doing a pretty good job. You know, he's able to escape that. He probably had his ultimate, wasn't worried about anything. But still, you know, I don't know, standing in fire, guys. Try not to stand in fire. Now, I think this seems to be like a trend. I always die 2 times, like, back to back. It's just, I don't know, guys. That's how I play, I guess. But we're going to head back to mid, just kind of clean this up, and I end up picking up purple buffs. So I'm going to kind of run around and look for someone to kill. Sure enough, Murdoch's there backing, and, you know, I hit him with that Grinning Spectre, and you can see it's slowly floating towards him. I don't know. You know, it'll eventually hit him, I guess, or I don't know if it can hit other people. Like I said, I don't use this card a whole lot, but Greystone actually ends up getting that kill, so, you know, I don't even get the kill for it. I don't know, it's a very expensive card that really affects your in-game, and I feel it's just kind of meh. But, hey, we'll try it out again once it finally gets off the cooldown. I'm going to go ahead and take out this T2. Now, I know the whole enemy team's collapsing on me, but I'm going to try my hardest to get that T2. I think a mid lane, or death, is probably worth a T2. Luckily, Muriel was there to shield me a little bit, but wasn't quite enough. We end up taking out that T2. You know, I don't know, mid lane for a T2. And, you know, we pretty much killed that ADC. It feels good, you know. It probably wasn't the best call, but, you know, hey, we have died, you know, 3 times just back to back. We need to kind of calm down. we're playing a little bit too crazy, but, you know, of course, securing those laning objectives is absolutely huge. I'm gonna go ahead and cut out that 30-minute spawn time. You know, I spawned back in. That was all that really happened. But we end up actually securing Fangtooth. You know, I was pinging it a few times, and we finally got some collapse, so that's good. And then we've got some enemy rotation over here. Guys, I walk up, and I just miss everybody. We did get Faye, but still, like, feels bad, man. And we end up actually taking out Murdoch as well. So we got a support and an ADC. You know, it's a Burstcaster support. You know, that's a good kill. And, you know, from here I need to, you know, readjust my lane. That Quang was going to get away. I wasn't going to mess with Quang, you know. But I do hit Finder of Playthings, and I see our Chimera. You know, he's in the jungle, and he's, you know, he's probably going to need some help. I head over there. Kalari backs off. You know, one thing about Finder of Playthings, when you use it, you can apply a slow to somebody. And I often find myself forgetting that I have that slow. You might as well just throw it on somebody, because you're going to lose it if you don't. So if you see anybody in any type of engagement, go ahead and throw it on that person. You know, it might help secure the kill. But from here, we're going to head over to our solo lane to help Greystone secure the, you know, this minion wave, get it set in the right direction. You know, it's a pretty good sized minion wave, and we're able to make very short work of it. You know, that's one thing. Gideon's got some awesome wave clear now, guys. You know, that sideways rock. It works. But I don't really want to push that. You know, we've got a huge presence in mid lane. I need to head over to mid lane. You know, I might be able to make something happen. And Greystone's a lane pushing, you know, he's great at lane pushing. So I'm going to allow him to just head over there, lane push away. My team's able to take out Murdoch, you know. The enemy team kind of left him there. I don't know if he was pushed up or they were, but yeah, I don't think he was expecting to be the only one. But we end up securing that kill, and hey, you know, let's go ahead and push mid. Revenant's pushing that solo lane, or that duo lane. You know, he's kind of just been a lane pushing hero this whole time, and we're gonna just kind of shove this mid lane. Now, I haven't seen a whole lot of Iggy. You know, he's been going from lane to lane trying to defend, but you know, that's one thing. Iggy kind of takes a little time to get set up to be, you know, strong in a certain area. And if he's just heading over, throwing down a turret, and then rotating, you know, that turret's not going to stay up. And sure enough, we're actually able to take down this mid inhib. And, you know, Muriel, baby. I almost get Quang. You know, that Murdoch was able to dodge that attack, or absorb that attack. We hit him with that Phantom, the Grinning Spectre. And it did damage to him, but, you know, it didn't kill him. And the enemy team actually ends up surrendering. You know, it's a victory. You know, I did like to play it out, but again, there's been more and more surrenders, it seems. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this Grinning Spectre Gideon gameplay. I gotta say, I like that other deck that I normally use better. Well, if you did enjoy, show me some love, leave me a comment, think about subscribing, join our Discord. I'd love to play with some of y'all, and as always, guys, I'll see y'all in the next video.